Another thing that is synonymous with Pentecostal ways of worship, the tongues in the Pentecostal church. How do you, what's your comment on them? Yes.
If you go to the back to the Bible,
Yes.
okay, and get to that point where they talk about speaking in tongues,
Yes.
okay, it is said like the Holy Spirit came upon
Them,
the apostles or
the
disciples,
ones that were gathered, yes.
okay, and they began speaking in tongues.
Meaning
Yes.
what?
Now, this is what it meant that I don't understand how other people have gotten it in these Pentecostal churches. Speaking in tongues basically meant that you were a Jew, okay?
Yes.
But now all of a sudden you speak.
You can hear. When I'm speaking in tongues, like the way these people do it here, I don't get a thing. Me.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
The point is, I'm speaking, you can hear in Uganda, you can get it in Swahili, you're getting it in English.
But there's a notion.
That was the whole idea. And that's why people were like, I'm Arabic. Okay?
How
And I
come
can
this guy
hear
is speaking
what he's saying?
and I understand it?
That is what the tongues meant. Not just wake up and say, that is not speaking in tongues.
Because me, I thought
No.
that speaking in tongues is to close out everyone else and you communicate to God alone.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is
You
called.
see, that's where the problem is.
The most
that people have
biblically
understood
learned
it.
guy
People have
here.
understood it
Yes.
in the wrong
I'm going to
concept.
bring you.
Okay.
Let me give you
Yes.
this.
Give us.
What he has said is true. There is what they call gifts. Okay.
Okay.
There is speaking in tongues.
Gifts of the
Yes.
Spirit.
There is speaking in tongues,
Yeah.
and then there is gifts of tongues. Gifts of tongues is a gift of many diverse languages. Like it's a gift of the Spirit, where you can have the tongue of the region where God has sent you.
Yes.
And there are many people who have testified of that, where they go in an area and God does something they want them to speak, and they don't even know. This is testimonies people used to say when they, especially the missionaries who went to South America, okay, in the Amazon.
Yes.
They used to say they would go in a community and
And be able
they,
to
they
communicate
would
with that
communicate
community.
with the people there. But for him, he wouldn't even understand what he's saying. The people listening would understand in their language.
And how would he know that they have
Okay.
understood?
No, for him, he's speaking what God is telling him to speak.
Yes.
So for him, he just opens and
But
speaks.
those
So for the people who he's speaking to,
are they
so-
called, what were they called? Conquistadors or something.
yeah,
Yes.
Those South American guys.
Yeah.
They misunderstood everything.
This thing was basically
So
the whole
anyway,
concept.
what I'm saying is this. Listen, that is what they call gift of tongues.
Okay.
Speaking in tongues is different.
From?
So if you read, I think it's in Corinthians somewhere, 2 Corinthians, where he breaks down the gifts of the Spirit
Yes.
and the ministry of the Spirit. Okay, the ministry of the Spirit is either personal, where God edifies you, where God instructs you, or it's to instruct another person, or if you're a leader or whatever. Okay, there are things God wants to speak to you. You can send an angel or whatever, devise things. But tongues, Paul said, tongues are to be spoken in private. You can't like go on the street and speak tongues because unless there is an interpreter.
Now, let
That's
me
what you
let me
need.
ask you a que- let me ask you a question. Why do I have speak tongues in private?
Now
who?
the thing is, this is what the scripture says.
My question would
Okay,
be to who?
now listen,
Yes.
listen. This is what the scripture says. The tongues is when your spirit speaks the groanings of your spirit.
Yes.
Tongues is a form of praying to God, not a form of public speech.
Wonderful. I'll cut that.
That's how it is.
Now, it basically means I can speak in tongues
Yes.
to God in my crib alone.
Yes.
Wonderful. These guys do it publicly
Idiots.
on a daily. You get the point?
Now.
Like the sermon
now,
begins somewhere into the sermon.
Now this is what
The
the
tongues
scripture,
come up.
Now this is where the scripture
I've
says
So I think
that if a person speaks in tongues, there must be an interpreter. If there is no interpreter, then shut your mouth.
Because
Shut your mouth. Take your stand
so,
in the
I
closet.
think that's when the local culture comes in.
Okay.
Because the local faith, is it in Uganda, say, Alikembandu?
I've
I've
witnessed that man.
And that's how they behave.
And by the way, let me
Just
tell you,
out of
that's
the
how they
blue.
behave. No,
Out
the
of the
difference
blue.
actually with them, why I believe this traditional thing more.
The guy is out of his mind.
I've been to a village where the guy is out of his mind, okay, and he's not speaking in his voice. Okay?
His-
If you had a male voice, you'll hear that his voice has become kind of
Female.
female.
Sharper,
Yes.
eh?
If whatever demons that have possessed him are female, he will speak
Or
like
spirits.
a female.
Yeah,
Or spirits.
they don't
Let me
have
say okay,
demons.
spirits. He'll speak in a female way.
Yes.
You
So
know
the
the
guy
point?
speak like a
Yes.
child.
Or like a child.
Yes.
Honestly, like a child. And be like, what is happening?
I have heard of some churches where the pastor demands that the congregation prays or speaks tongues.
No,
Spontaneous.
I've gone to some church where they have told us now it is time for you to step aside and speak in tongues.
The spirit is for edification, okay? To edify the church. The gifts like healing, you know, touching the sick and the dead. That's why you're not like you have the gift of healing, then you touch yourself. You're like, this
I'm
cancer,
healing myself.
this cancer go.
Madness.
That ain't going to happen, okay?
Yes.
It's for edification of the church. So in the end, it's for the work of the
God.
Of the gospel.
Yes.
Okay? So whatever you're doing, even if it's tongues. So if someone is not understanding, so basically who is gaining? Nobody. So go in your closet and speak your tongues. Yes, it's praying. So Paul was like, I pray in, you know, known language. I also pray in tongues. But
Okay.
when I'm preaching, I do not go praying in, you know.
So tongues is a medium of prayer.
Yes.
So, but however, if we are to pray in our own languages, it's okay for us to pray together,
Yes.
loudly. So in the same sense, then we can also choose to pray in tongues together.
I don't usually want to interpret things of the spirit or supernatural things because none of us is well versed in it.
Yes.
Okay? So I can only say this. There are those who probably are faking it, and there are those who,
99%.
regardless, even if there's
Are faking it.
0.001
No, because this is what
who are
happened.
right, I'm just saying according to what the Bible says.
Matthias,
That's
I've never
how it-
seen someone
so-
possessed with something.
I've seen people who are possessed, okay?
Emmanuel.
Do you know what it means being possessed?
Being filled with the
You
Spirit
don't
is not the
have
same as
control
possession.
of yourself.
So,
Now, the
so
issue
are
is
you trying to liken it to the
to
possession.
Emmanuel.
Yes! Because when you're speaking in tongues, you have not planned the words. They're coming out. You don't even know what you're
Now,
speaking.
according,
But
now,
his
this is according
definition
to the
mentioned
scriptures.
that it is your spirit at that time.
Now,
that
this
time
is
that has
according
taken over.
to
Yes, that is
the
a
Now,
possession.
this is how it is. According to the Bible, okay, Paul said the spirit is not in the command of the prophet, but the prophet in the command of the. What it is that God is not in the process of, you know, taking you over. Okay, none of the prophets were like hijacked. Okay, whoever gets hijacked and is like, if you, because I've seen some pastors like, the spirit has told me there's a guy here. I'm like, come on, time out.
Poke, poke,
Time
poke,
out.
poke, poke, poke.
Yeah. No, time out, because if the spirit is not there's nowhere in the Bible the spirit controlled anybody, like grabbing someone and making them do stuff. Those are demons according to the Bible. The spirit suggests, okay, he gives you
Like in a
what
dream.
he wants.
Yes.
In a dream, in a vision,
live.
angels, even speaking to you, because like, even in the Old Testament God,
That's
God
interesting.
speaks. So he gives you what to say. So it is your opinion to do what he's telling you to do or not.
So meaning tongues is a
Hence, you
choice.
still have
So
your
tongues
free
is
will.
also a choice. So a person can pause or continue.
So are you saying that the spirits love you so much
Secondly,
that on every sermon you'll
This
have
is
to
what I'm going
speak in
to say.
tongues? They will come.
there's this
Why
human
don't wait
nature,
every day?
there's this human nature which I call akajanja, where they are theatrics.
Yes.
They are theatrics in
Yeah,
some cases.
people do theatrics.
In most
And
cases.
and because of our flesh, there's something I call our flesh. Okay, that thing that Eve had. Okay, when they say when Eve looked at the fruit, she said it was good for the eyes, good for the food, and to give wisdom. Okay, those are the three weaknesses of man. Okay, those are the same. You have a weakness of pride. Every man wants to be, or woman, wants to be uplifted. No one wants to be put in a downcast way.
So you're saying if someone in the congregation had some other person speaking in tongues, it's likely that they might try
Cross.
to elevate themselves as well
People,
to join the
no,
band.
like
But
for
there
example,
should be a
the
benefit,
pastor,
What would be a purpose of you
feels
doing that?
feels more spiritual, like
When
that
he
he's in the
speaks in tongues.
spirit
You know, speak-
when he
it's
speaks in
spiritual.
tongues. Though it has nothing in form of command or prayer or answering of prayer. Zero.
That's why the lines are the same. They have no new words.
All right.
Okay. Now, regardless new words or no new words, I'm not going to say that actually puts, a definitive,
So in other words, someone can speak in tongues in Luganda.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Is that the point?
Rap.
Is that what you want?
That's what I'm trying to say. Yes.
Now,
So
you guys,
if people are saying speaking in tongues is basically a language.
Because
no
if you're
one
supposed to understand it,
to,
it means
to conclude this, you guys,
wrap it in
Because-
Chiga
in Ruchiga.
and finish
and
it.
does it
And
have to be
finish it.
wrapped?
Mackenzie, you're uncomfortable with something you do not understand.
Yes,
When
because,
someone is
Probably that's why
actually,
that's why he's
being
uncomfortable with it.
It is basically that's why I brought the Bible.
Completely
If
repressive.
we are to follow, if we are to follow the Bible,
Yes.
yes?
Yes.
My first element of where I saw speaking in tongues was when the Holy Spirit came upon the apostles,
Yes.
And what did they do? For me, that's what
and they spoke in tongues.
How?
Such that
You get the
the
point.
other people,
The
that
people
were
around,
not-
in their
the
own
people
languages.
around understood they were speaking in tongues because they would understand
them.
what they're speaking.
There is a gift of
of
speaking,
speaking
in
in
tongues.
tongues.
There's also a gift of interpretation.
Yes.
Okay? And there's also speaking in tongues.
Because now
there is a gift
he
of
wants
the
to ask a
Spirit.
question. eh?
I want to ask a question. The question
Yes.
is, because I'm just following the logic, what would be the difference of a normal prayer and a prayer in tongues what would be the difference between speaking in your language and speaking in tongues in your language?
What nonsense?
Because you're saying,
Yes.
you're saying
It's complication.
because you're saying that we can pray
Yes.
normally, then there are cases when you have to speak in tongues.
Okay,
What
look.
would be the difference?
Look,
Because I thought
Let me
it is the gibberish.
Let me ask.
Because the gibberish now would make sense.
Let me add to your
You
question.
want me to answer question?
Question
I'm
number
not the
three.
originator
No,
of this thing.
Question number
No, no,
three.
You're the
because
most
you're
knowledgeable
the
about this
resident.
subject.
You're the resident.
Okay,
Scripture
I'm going to give.
expert.
Okay, let me first answer your question.
No,
Yes.
before you answer that, let me add section C of his
Okay.
questioning. If I was a linguistic, I can speak 10 languages. Okay? Fluently well. And then in my prayer, I'm speaking in Uganda, then I put in Lugafula, I put in Luchiga, then I put in Lunyankore.
That would
then
make sense. To speak
I
in
get
tongues.
my point.
Those are tongues.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Answer.
To conclude
This
this.
is conclude.
conclude.
Yeah.
Let me conclude this. Okay. According to the scriptures, this is what Paul said. There are gifts of the Spirit. Tongues is among them, which also includes interpretation. The tongues of Shanda, whatever, I don't know, whatever, they are diverse. I cannot definitively claim here that, that guy is speaking in tongues.
That guy
And
is,
I like it that God did it that way, so that no one can judge, okay?
Yes.
So that is the only one who knows the truth.
He could be speaking a language that someone else understands. Somewhere
Maybe in the Amazon. Who knows?
Who knows?
Anyway, regardless, whether it's true or not, I don't understand.
It should not have a
But-
bearing.
Someone in the Elgon.
But this is what is spoken. Do not speak your tongues if no one is going to interpret for the local tongue.
It's very abnormal, actually.
Extremely.
Actually, let me tell you, if I was in the church,
The two of them.
actually, if I was in the church,
It's more normal
having
to
sex
be
with
with
a
a
nun would be more abnormal than having sex with an altar boy. To me, no, if I was looking at abnormality.